Yeah, just a really tough game. Tough game, which we knew we would be in for, and I thought our guys fought hard. I give the guys a lot of credit to come on the road once again, like they did in New England, like they did in Seattle, to play to win, and they got rewarded by scoring first, and yeah, it becomes a game of maybe the race to that next goal. So it was going to be either we can score one in transition. Um, and Philly, yeah, you can see why they're a good team, and they're hard to play against. They're combative. They can play in the pockets with the two strikers as well. So it's, they clawed their way back in. We took a lot of pressure, and we were close to the points, close to at least a draw. And once again, at least proud of the way our guys fought hard against and went toe to toe with a pretty good team on the road.
We'll start off with Matt Pollard.
Thanks for the time, Chris. Chris, we've seen the Rapids counterattack be very good and very dangerous in some recent games, but in Philly, there was a couple stretched moments where maybe the execution could have been better. And tonight as well, lots of good situations. Were you happy with the execution, or is there something you'd like to see better from a final pass, composure, or something else?
Well, I would like to see us create more transition, right? Like if we're even more compact in moments, if we're more aggressive on our back line, stepping in to strikers, we would have created more moments. So the times that we did remain aggressive from compact structure, we were rewarded with those big moments. In those moments, yeah, there's always the fine details, Matt. That's not so easy. Easier from the outside looking in, but slowing down, making the right decisions, finding the right pass at the right moment, executing at that fast tempo is not so easy. But you got to see that with even with Yappy, it was Rafa, Yappy, Koo, Georgie. We created a number of these that didn't amount to enough, but yeah, you got to give Philly credit too. They're a reason why they're so strong defensively and so high on the table. So that's something you always work on, and that comes with time. But yeah, not much more than that.
We'll go to Braden Nurse.
Chris, thank you for the time. I mean, you're tied 1-1. You talk about the race to the next goal. Philly, wins that race, gets the two. But you take away those two goals at the end. You fend off 28 shots, really absorb and deflect a lot of that pressure. And for most of the game, it looked like the defense that we saw to start the year, probably the best that we've seen since then. Without Cheeto on this roster, how crucial is that going to be? And with that too, what do you think it means?
Well, look, I mean, 20 something shots. I mean, Philly, they are a team that forces the coincidence, which means, we're a team that tries to get into certain spaces and really try to think about our shot distance, and we're selective. They are very effective by just really they shoot from. They're dangerous, so they shoot from outside the box. It's deflections, it's corner kicks, and that's hard to deal with. So, yeah, that's part of it. It's again the race to the second goal. It's we're looking for one in transition. They're putting a lot of pressure on us. In the end, it's corner kicks. It's the stuff in and around the box that we just. It's our guys did a good job, but they cracked the code a few times. With Cheeto, obviously, this is part of sport. We like our roster. We like what we the guys we have, and we're going to look to add, and that's plain and simple.
We'll go down to Canwald.
Chris, it's the end of July, it's going to be August, and then people are going to start looking at September and talking about that big September FIFA window and the Sprinter World Cup. And I'm sure it's in the back of Zach's mind somewhere because he's been snake bitten twice this year trying to get on the field for the national team. How do you assess where he is, and do you think he'll get that call in September and get a chance to finally prove himself?
Yeah, we based on his performances, his form, what's happened recently with national team call-ups, we expect that he gets back in. We know that the national team staff, they like him. The head coach, the goalkeeper coach, they do like Zach. And even tonight, you see how he's a difference maker. For a long stretch, you might have said he was man of the match for a while. And then, of course, goals change things, but he's our guy. He's a top goalkeeper in all ways. So we expect to see the best is yet to come for him this year for us, and we do think it's going to mean that he gets back into the mix over there.
How do you assess the mix of, especially at goal, the mix of talent and form? Because people will know what talent is, but sometimes form will also be affected by the other guys on the field.
Yeah, look, I think for football people that we know what we're looking at. If it's the national team staff, they know what they're looking at. And for the goalkeeping position, I'm sure they're going to want to go into the World Cup with goalkeepers that are playing, right? Training well versus playing well in live action and game sharpness and readiness. And Zach also has big maturity and yeah. So I think we all know Zach Steffen's talent, but he's a winner and he's sharp, which is, he's quickly got right back into where he left off before an injury. So yeah, he's a top player and likely to be considered for that national team again.
We'll go back to Matt.
Chris, your thoughts on Josh, who stepped in for Connor, and what's the timeline on Connor's ankle injury? Thank you.
Yeah, Connor is, I would think, a few more weeks. I'd say that's on the lighter side, so it could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, minimally. And Josh steps in and back in because he's been a guy that's played lots of minutes for us, and I thought he was growing into the game tonight in a good way and plugging up that midfield, which was an important part as they were trying to attack those central spaces. And now, Josh suffered something with his knee. They got to get looked at. So not great as he had to limp off the pitch, but we'll get that looked at.
And then we'll go back to Braden.
Chris, Hoffa gets his ninth of the year tonight. His fourth in 6 games. We've seen him score in this little stretch here in a variety of ways. Just how do you keep it working for him for League Cup and beyond?
Yeah, look, it's good to see that he's sharp. We keep him going with the spaces to stay in, the spaces to attack in the middle of the pitch between the goal. We call it the goal zone. So listen, keep the guys around him sharp. Kuz keeps creating. Georgie keeps creating. Calvin looked dangerous. Yappy off the bench. So he's a guy that's going to, oftentimes he can create on his own, but he's going to score lots of goals when the guys around him are firing on all the cylinders. So listen, it doesn't take a lot for me to keep him going. Just got to keep getting him in the right spaces, and he's going to just keep scoring goals for us.
And we'll wrap up with Sydney Code.
Coach, looking ahead to Leagues Cup this week on Thursday, you're going to be back at home in Dick's Sporting Goods Park. How important is it going to be to feel that environment to open the Leagues Cup play, and what can the team take from this result?
Well, look, first, we're really excited for the Leagues Cup, right? To shift our focus a bit, different type of competition, different types of teams and challenges that the Mexican teams, Santos first. But we love that we get two of the games, the first games of the competition in our building. Hopefully we get big support from our fans, and even, Santos fans in the Mexican community come out and support our game and the competition. So we're looking forward to it. If we can pick up where we left off last year, and with big belief, and we go after that competition. And what was the other part, Sydney? What we could take from this game tonight? Look, when Philly poses a different challenge for us and for most teams. So whether it's every game gives you information. 5 in the back against New England. Seattle's what they can do in their building. Teams like LA Galaxy, that possession teams that you can disrupt. This is a combative team, and we learn from it. So you gain what these games feel like. It's one thing to understand the opposition. It's another to go out there and try to meet those demands, which we did for a long stretch. So, yeah, it's just you just get to understand a different type of game, and you just build it into your arsenal, and we'll take something from it for sure.